Hello, for gaming community and Beyblade community as a whole. It has been, I think, probably like 2 months, 2 or 3 months. I want to say 2 months at least. I know, since we've done a podcast. It's just me up here today, just speaking to the community on some updates on what's going on with for gaming, the circuit, Dark Continent. Talk about some new things, the Beyblade World Cup, as I think I mentioned for gaming already, the store. First and foremost, thank you all for the continued support, continuing listening, um, continuing to play Beyblade. The community's growing. I see it. It's great. I know I haven't been as active on Instagram, haven't been as active even on YouTube or with a lot of things. I took a little bit of a break after last year. I don't know if you could hear it now. I'm still um, been getting sick a lot lately. Our weather's changing, but also had a lot going on. But anyways, that's besides the fact. Just want to speak with everyone. First off, let's see. Talk about the store first. Talk about Dark Continent first. Let's go ahead and let's address Dark Continent first, or address the circuit first, because a lot of people have asked. So we haven't ran the circuit event, and with that, and this isn't going to be too long, but this is the main gist of why I am making this short podcast. So the circuit, just cut straight to the chase. I stopped it, or we are going to stop it. Like it is stopped with Dark Continent. I know it was a big thing. We were running it, but that's going to be put to bed, and there is a reason for it, which I'm going to get into. But yeah, so pretty much, I do appreciate everyone that, excuse me, everyone that was involved in the circuit, everyone that helped out, everyone that helped promote it, attended, and it was great. Dark Continent, I wanted to have a big annual tournament. We only got to do the one, but I had a lot of fun. And for those of you who are still looking forward to it or doing the circuit, that's kind of where Beyblade World Cup comes in. So how that came about was actually from members of the community, like Crisis Crusher and Geekster 99 and various like high level competitors, um, you know, throwing out ideas. Not just them, like people all throughout the WBO throwing out ideas on like a nationals type of thing, um, a big event. And Beyblade Premier had summer games. They had summer games the year. Well, they've had it for the past 2 years. I did Dark Continent last year. It was something that I wanted to have in promotion with the circuit. Mine was Dark Continent was kind of like North Carolina for gaming thing. Summer Games was kind of like a thing for Beyblade Premier in Florida. Um, and then you had Anime North, and this is all like WBO affiliated. Anime North, which was kind of like the WBO's type of national thing, but it wasn't for sure, or Beyblade East, Beyblade West, Beyblade North. I think that's what they called it. Um, but the idea was like we have all these various things and these different things, because Takara isn't in the United States, promoting tournaments like that, and Hasbro wasn't doing too much. So why weren't all the stores like, Beyblade Premiere, For Gaming, Base and Bricks, Mall of Toys, or whoever getting together and just hosting something like a big event? And for a while, like I didn't know how it was gonna work out, or anything like that. Like I kind of wanted to just focus on the circuit, like do something and to give back in my own aspect. But from after continuous talking, and it made more sense, like for me to run the circuit and Dark Continent, and Kansei having summer games and doing more future events. It was like it didn't really make sense for us to have something separate, um, to be working not really against each other, but like working independently. Like we're not working twice as hard, but he's working on his thing, I'm working on my thing, instead of us just kind of working together. So Beyblade World Cup is more 100% Kansei's thing. Um, I reached out and I wanted to put the circuit to bed. That way, the community can focus on one national event, one big tournament, and it worked out. And a lot of the tournaments that you're seeing right now, as far as the regionals and everything like that, those are people, other communities coming on board to have that focus for Beyblade World Cup. And another thought that I had, because I still wanted to have something for my state, for North Carolina, just like I'm sure other organizers will. Like the Beyblade World Cup is the Beyblade World Cup, be hosted in Florida. That's the big shebang. So right now we're in the burst, but fourth gen comes out or whatever future generation comes out, we would meet in the summertime and have that big deal tournament. But for local organizers and things like that, if they still wanted to host a big tournament for the area, for those who couldn't travel, or let's say it becomes an invitational event for Beyblade World Cup in the future, they can still have something in their areas. And that's what the regionals is kind of about. It's about, at least in my mind, I'm just talking to how I saw it in my mind, because I still wanted to have something for North Carolina. Still wanted to do something in the area, and then to have that promotion, and to be like, hey, once you win this, it'll give you some of those prizes that you see for getting, like, becoming the poster child of your state or for your region, and getting your admission paid for going into Beyblade World Cup. So with that, I will say with the circuit, because I came to Conseil and we talked about everything. So everyone who won first place in any of the circuit events, I will pay for your admission for Beyblade World Cup, because I know I was doing like the top four get an invitation to Dark Continent, but I'm paying for the admission for all first place winners. I'm not paying for the admission for top four, because it's like 20, 40 people, something like that, and that's a lot of money. But I am paying for the admission for the first place winners, from the circuit, and all the top four of Dark Continent last year. I'm paying for your admission as well, if you wanted to go to Beyblade World Cup this year. With that being said, another thing that really got me on board with Beyblade World Cup, Conseil had an event in Florida, and I'm going to put the link at the bottom of this. I put it on one of our other podcasts also, but you'll see the tournament. They had announcers. They had it streamed. It was just like the coolest thing ever. And I really felt like it's what Beyblade needs, needed. And that's not just for WBO. Like I said, like Beyblade is so much bigger than just the WBO. And to be able to showcase that on various platforms, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, and for it to look like a legitimately professional thing, and the networking that he has, it can just grow the sport so much more, and grow the game so much more, not just for our local areas of North Carolina, Jersey, Washington, Texas, Maryland, wherever, like everything can grow as a whole, for North America and worldwide. And that's the overall thing. And he had a lot of resources to do it. And I think it's very helpful overall. But for our North Carolina scene, honestly, from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, I know on the map it has Georgia as affiliated, I think, with Jersey or Pennsylvania. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm going to go ahead and talk my junk right now. Like Georgia, I feel like the Carolinas claim with Georgia and Georgia claims with the Carolinas. But anyways, I will say for us, I still want to continue to have this regional tournament this year. And I'll speak about Playthrough Gaming. I want that to continue on. I also, like, I am reaching out to the organizers, speaking out to the organizers right now, because I'm the only one organizing in North Carolina, like at the moment, and I haven't hosted in the past couple months. But I also have things to do, outside of Beyblade. But I don't want our communities to die, and it is a lot. It's heavy, or it's a lot of pressure if it's just one organizer trying to travel between these 3 states to keep the communities going and continuing on. And because I don't want people to lose love for the game or to lose interest, So that's one of the reasons why I do it. But it's also very helpful if, if you're in another area, and you can do it. Like if you're in another, I live on the east side of North Carolina. If you live on the west side, you live in South Carolina, you live in Georgia, your local tournaments, and like I said, and I always said this, I don't mind helping with prizing. I don't mind helping with promotions. You run that, and then shoot, we could meet for the regionals every year at Playthrough, um, and then you can get your invitation, or not your invitation, because the Beyblade World Cup is not invitational, but you can get your you can win your prizes and become the poster child for your region and things like that, and then you can end up going to Florida. So we can have two big things per year, and I really like that. With Playthrough Gaming, so this nerd life is it's not new, and if you've been listening, y'all know about hopefully you know about that. I've been going to Playthrough Gaming before. I think they started in 2015 or 2016. They started having their convention in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I've been going every year except for the first year, and I missed 2020 and I think 2021 because of COVID. All right, and I went last year for the first time as a vendor, um, because that was the first time they had opened back up. But I had went 2016 or 20 for 2 or 3 years until COVID happened. I really enjoy this convention because it is specifically just for gamers. Like you have a lot of different conventions, different convention styles. This one's just all for gaming, and it's really good for new gamers too. Like if you're promoting your own video games, if you're making a new card game, Frost, or like a tabletop game or anything like that. Like this is a type of convention where you could come to and showcase it. But then they also have like um what is it? They have the Super Smash Brothers tournaments, Dragon Ball Z tournaments for console and PC. What was it? Rocket League tournaments, um, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, so many other tournaments and things like that. And I always thought about doing Beyblade, like especially once I got involved in it and had the store. And last year I was a vendor. I was skeptical about running the tournament, but this year I want to try it out. And one of the reasons why we are having it on Sunday instead of Saturday, for one, it took me a while to finally make the decision to do it at Playthrough versus trying to do it somewhere else, because I didn't want to charge. I didn't want to charge for the tournament, but it ended up working out that I could do it at Playthrough. So we did it Sunday for one, because even though the tickets are a little bit expensive, Sunday is the cheaper day for it. And also like Saturday at Playthrough, I hope you can come, but it's way more hectic. It's a lot busier. Um, we're gonna be a vendor. We're gonna have our store there, and it's just gonna be possibly just me and my wife. So I know I was need to help my wife with that. It would be extremely difficult for me to run the store as well as hosting the tournament, or leaving her to do that on her own. Another thing is also to promoting the tournament, because we didn't have as much time to promote it, and I want to be able to do that a whole lot next year, because last year we had a lot of love and support for Beyblade. Like so many people were coming up and asking about tournaments. And like I said, Saturday's a busier day, so be like, hey, just show up back up tomorrow, and you could watch the tournament or possibly join in. And that is a hope, and that's really why we did Sunday. One, get cheaper tickets for you all, and also to help a little bit with promotion, and so it's not as crazy and as hectic. But if you want to come Saturday, our store will still be there. You'll get to see more Playthrough Gaming, because I think Saturday night is actually when they had the cosplay competition, which is really cool. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I go there. My kids love it. My daughter, she's really into cosplay. Um, but anyways, yeah, just come through. They got old school arcade games for the dads out there. We're gonna play some Street Fighter, play some. I don't know if they have Mario, but definitely Pac-Man and things like that. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it every year I went. It's like a family vacation every year, and we're happy to not only be vendoring again this year, be a vendor again this year, but also to be able to host a tournament and hopefully grow it more, grow the Carolina scene more, the Beyblade scene as a whole more. I think that was it for that. Playthrough Gaming. I'm gonna put their website in the description below also. So if you do want to get a ticket, excuse me, whether you compete or not, you'll have the opportunity to do so. All right. So as far as the store goes, I don't really have much to say. Actually, I'm lying. So the store, our inventory is low right now. Let me. I'll be real with y'all for a little bit of a second. Our last interview, really made me think, and this is just getting a little bit deep. It really made me think about some of the things I was doing with Beyblade and my involvement. I got into this for the love of just the nerd life, really. Like, I like Beyblades, but I love the whole gist of the anime and the nerd life. And our last interview with Beyblade Challenge actually had me reflect on that more, with his aspect of it wasn't fully about just a competition for him. Like, he really just wanted to play. Like, he wanted to spin his tops without, even if nobody else was there. And had the opportunity to do that with other people was also great. And I felt like for a little while, and I think we all get caught up in this sometimes, more concerned about others' thoughts and opinions versus our own, and I got caught up in that with some of the things that I was trying to do for Beyblade, with Beyblade on the competitive scene as well as with the store and things like that, instead of just doing what I enjoyed and I loved. And this is honestly like the first time that I've ever spoke about it, even speaking it out loud outside of my head. And I was, I guess to say, losing a little bit of myself um, within Beyblade, and I didn't like that. And that is, to be completely honest, a little bit why you weren't seeing as many posts on Instagram. I stepped back for a little bit of second with tournaments. Um, so much had changed because I needed to take that second. Uh, because I do enjoy I enjoy Beyblade, and I didn't want to lose this, and I didn't want to lose my enjoyment for the nerd life. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy anime. I enjoy gaming, and I wanted to get back to the core of that. So with the store is gonna continue to be here, and I wanted to focus on still like what we can do for the community. I know the inventory's low, and I used to stress about that, like, oh, I need to have all this and all that and this and that, but it's not. I've never been focused on having the store to be some multi-million corporation, or having the greatest prices like promises, or greatest prices, fastest shipping, or anything like that, or I just wanted to be able to provide for the community. Um, and when I felt myself, I know I wasn't making empty promises, but when I felt myself like kind of getting away from my initial goals, I didn't really like that. Not just with the store, but even with the competitive scene. So I wanted to get back to that. So I'm going to, continue and invest in the parts that we can. Hopefully, fourth gen comes out really soon because I'm really looking forward to it. Um, Another reason why the picture stopped is because nothing new was coming out, and also wasn't having tournaments, as far as Instagram goes. But I'm looking forward to fourth gen coming out. I really want to see what it looks like. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna we are going to restock within the next couple of weeks, especially going to playthrough. We have to get a lot more items in. Um, it's not going to be everything. It's just what we can get. And like I said, we're not the biggest online store for Beyblade. We're actually one of the smallest ones, if not the smallest. So that's why you don't see a super big inventory, because it's like we don't get as much traffic as some of the other stores do. We just do what we can. But I do plan on investing in building that up. And I've always said this, at least in our emails and everything. If y'all have questions or you want me to get something specific, let me know. Shoot it out to me, and I can do that. I want to say that is about it. Cause let's see, I wanted to talk about Dark Continent, which I did in the circuit. We're putting that to bed so we can mainly focus on the Beyblade World Cup, but still for North Carolina, like this playthrough gaming thing. Um, God willing, hopefully, is something that's definitely going to stay. Um, it's something that I intend to keep doing, and as well as like future tournaments. And I just want to have normal, regular tournaments. I'm not trying to stress out. Oh, this is another thing. With that last interview, and I had noticed with building Beyblade, like people want to play, they're going to come play. And I've seen this at a lot of my tournaments. Sometimes people come, even if they just come one time, they just want to spin their tops with other people. And like I said with the last interview, it definitely like helped me remember that. And when I think about the tournaments, a lot of the tournaments that we had, even my last one, it was a lot of people who it was their first tournament or they were coming and they just were happy just to be around other people who were playing Beyblade with them. And that was a big and heavy focus. And that's what I want to get back to. I don't want to stress about like um, and it was on me. I did it, got too competitive at one time, but I don't want to stress about invitationals, ranking, or anything like that, like to where it's too competitive that you actually lose like the love and enjoyment for the game, to where you're not focusing on, because, and don't get me wrong, like I'm competitive, but it's also like a lifestyle and a mentality to this, to where I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose it to like competitive to where there's no love and friendship, and I don't want to lose it to where it's like, oh, this is all business. I need to find ways to market and make money. That's not my that's not my mo. And anyways, yeah, I just want to have nice, fun, cool tournaments. All right, so and that's it for the future tournaments. I don't know where I'm gonna have them at. Like I said, I really hope if you're organizing in North Carolina or willing to, you can go ahead and start hosting, and we could work something out, or you build your community. And then I spoke on the store. All right, I'm hoping to have more podcasts out in the future, more interview styles like we have done. I really enjoy those. Um, some of them, Crisis Crusher will be with me on. Some of them he may not be. It's just because our schedules, and sometimes I get hit up last minute. Like there may be a cool interview coming up really soon, but it conflicts with Crisis schedule. Um, but I'm hoping that we can be able to get it. If it's not soon, then eventually. But anyways, I just wanted to speak on that. Continue to spread Beyblade. I hope all of this made sense. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments below, or just hit me up with an email. All right, and everyone, take care.